Welcome back. The nation's mayors are in Tampa this weekend for the 93rd annual U.S. Conference of Mayors, and there is a lot to talk about.
That includes Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson, who joins us from the conference. Mayor, it's good to see you.
Morning, Jared. Nice to see you.
As you convene with these mayors from cities across the country, what is the focus of this conference this past weekend?
So we're focusing in on a number of things that are important to cities all across the United States. Economic development, the impact of tariffs and the trade war on cities across the country, housing, particularly affordable housing, as well as issues around public safety too.
There have been some high-profile cases coming out of Milwaukee related to immigration, a number of ICE arrests, and as the Trump administration continues its crackdown on illegal immigration, is Milwaukee a sanctuary city?
Milwaukee is not a sanctuary city, but I will tell you this, though. The president's administration and their rhetoric on immigration has been very hurtful to folks in our community and very damaging as well. When you think about the economy in the state of Wisconsin, and Milwaukee is not an outlier to this, it's a three-legged stool. It's agriculture, it's tourism, and it's manufacturing. And in each of those areas, immigration plays a huge role. Who's going to milk the cows? Who's going to go onto the fields? Who's going to work to make sure the hotels are clean? Who's going to work in the restaurants? Who's going to work in the manufacturing places as well? Immigration touches every single aspect of our lives daily in Milwaukee and across Wisconsin.
We have seen, unfortunately, a spike in violence in Milwaukee over the past few weeks, and we're heading into a very hot weekend, which sometimes, unfortunately, coincides and correlates with crime in the city. Is this something that you're talking with the mayors there at the U.S. Conference of Mayors about? Is this something that cities across the country are dealing with?
Yeah, those issues are not unique to Milwaukee. They happen in cities all over the United States. Matter of fact, it was at a U.S. Conference of Mayors gathering in Kansas City in the recent years where they were dealing with issues around street takeovers. And I spoke to the mayor there and got some ideas to bring back to Milwaukee that we're working right now to execute on.
What are some of those ideas? What are you trying to do to fix this issue of street takeovers, violence heading into the summer?
Yeah, so as it relates to street takeover issues, their Department of Public Works had done some modifications to the roadways. Another thing, I think there's legislation that we're working to get through the Common Council now that would allow us to be able to have some penalties for people who show up and are spectators at these events. Really, these are quality of life issues in our community. Nobody deserves to be woken up early in the morning when they've got to go to work or take their kids to school or what have you. It's unfair to folks. It ruins their quality of life, and it's something that we take very seriously, and I want to address as mayor.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson joining us from the U.S. Conference of Mayors from Tampa. Mayor, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jared.
Up next, the Grand Marshal.